Anybody who's been following me for years, especially on YouTube, you should remember this place. This is where I built Dragonstorm. I used to sit in my car in the parking lot, in my van, and go off over and over again. My therapy from healing from narcissistic abuse, from narcissists that were both current and in the past, started there. Just yelling, just getting it out. You may have noticed I don't do that content as steady as I used to, and that's because I healed. Healing is possible, but it takes a lot of work. And depending on what you've been through, depending on how much work you got to go through. I feel bad for people who have to deal with narcissists that you have kids with, that you can't escape from. You just can't break away from entirely. Like, I'm sorry for you guys. That's got to be a hell of a trek. But luckily, in that the situation that I was in years ago, I was a primary supply in a way when it came to making a big deal on social media from her end. But I was more of a secondary supply. Triangulated by two narcissists. And then I discovered people in my past who were narcissistic or narcissists themselves, and then set about my healing journey. And it took years. You know, if you're healing, it may take a long time. And don't worry about how long it takes. Take it step by step. The things I learned the most was every time you say, I'm back, or I'm done healing, I'm good, you're not good. The moment that you're good is when you stop saying those things. The moment you know you're good is when you're done. You're just done with it. That's when you're good. When you're good, like, you get a random number that calls you, and it's NarcX, and they give you a ton of ammo that you could use to, like, expose or talk about them, but you don't care, and you just end up blocking their number. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't want to stay stuck in the cycle. Healing from narcissistic abuse means you don't want to stay in the cycle. You're done with the cycle. You're done with the BS. You're done with the drama and trauma. The cycles of drama and trauma that narcissists want to keep you in, or narcissistic people who love drama, they want to keep you in. Yeah, so don't feel bad if it takes you a long time to heal. It just does. Your healing journey is going to be as long as it's going to be. No two healing journeys are the same, although you can pick up pointers from coaches and other people who have been through it. But no two healing journeys are the same. I know for the longest time, like, I'm Dragonstorm, the Narcissist Slayer. For the longest time, I was like, F these narcs and expose these narcs and all that. I mean, that's all well and good. But I was also saying, like, not everyone should do that, and that's not the case for every situation. What I discovered was that I was raised by a narcissistic parent. And so when I was unhealed and unbalanced, when I would get super angry, that I would display narcissistic tendencies because that's how I was abused and how I was kind of formed when I was growing up. But when I came down from that, I would always feel bad about what I said or how angry I was. And that confused me for the longest time. Being triangulated by narcissists and having to delve into that world and understand what narcissism is and what NPD is and the different types of cluster B personality disorders really helped me on my healing journey to see the ways that I didn't want to act. And so when I've had to in the past mirror narcs, like, I just pull from that part of myself. I pull from that experience, from what I went through as a kid. And to be fair and honest, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What hurts a narcissist the most is no reaction. What hurts a narcissist the most, because they do everything they do because they want to feel like they're somebody. They want to feel like they have control over something because they have no control over themselves. It's walking away. It's not saying anything. It's diffusing the situation. That hurts them the most. I know it's backwards. It's always opposite day when you're dealing with narcs. It's backwards day every single time. But that's the truth of it. Like, you get into an argument with a normal person, and you just want to have the argument, get out what you need to get out, and then you say what you need to say, and then either apologies happen, or at least you feel some type of relief from saying what you needed to say, and then you go back to normal. With narcissists, it's cycles of delusion. It's cycles of drama and trauma. They just want to keep it going. That's what they live on. And they think they're right. People with, like, there's a difference between people who are narcissistic and true narcissists, like true NPD narcissists. Those people are delusional, and they really do believe they're the good guy. They really do. They can say the most heinous things. They can project. They can call you something that they are. They can say you're doing something the way that they're acting. You see a lot of this in, like, leftists, like far left protesters and shit. You know, it's, for instance, like pointing the finger and calling people fascists when they act like fascists. Like, that is narcissistic behavior. But people with true NPD, they really believe that they're the good guy. They really believe that they're good and that you're evil. You're bad because you're not taking their abuse and you're not accepting their lies. You're not accepting their delusion. Who wants to go in any type of cycle with that? Who wants to go around and around with that? Who wants to? You don't. It's just, if you continue to do it, it's because you want to do it. Whether that is because you are unhealed or because you're actually the narc. That's the truth of it. Because healed people who want peace in their lives, they don't want to go through that cycle over and over again. That's the truth of it. So you know you're healed when you're done going through those cycles. That's not to say that once you've dealt with one of these hoovering hobgoblins and you know how to mirror them, that you might have to one day mirror them back. But at that point, and I've said this plenty of times, mirroring back a narc is not being a narc yourself. It's not being a narcissist yourself, because what you're doing is just using what you understand of them to hurt them. From a place of strength. When you're healed, you come from a place of strength. Like, there's nothing they can say that's actually going to hurt you, but everything that you do, you know is going to hurt them. Again, sick cycle, because that's actually what they want. And that engagement makes them feel powerful. And it doesn't matter if they're affecting you or not. It doesn't matter, because in their eyes, they're affecting you. They're destroying you. They have your attention. This is where it all started. This is where I healed. Well, this was where I began to heal. Actually, I healed up north, but this was the place I found peace. And that is something I wanted to revisit. I was in the area, so I figured I'd stop by and just thank the spirits, thank nature, thank God for everything that I managed to build while I was here. As far as Dragonstorm and the healing that I did, and the introspection, the shadow work, looking at myself, swallowing pills I did not want to swallow, about how I acted and who I was, how I reacted, how I overreacted. But it led to who I am now. And who I am now is happy and married and don't no time for the BS. I used to love fighting with people. Well, not love fighting with people, but I used to be able to, like, build energy fighting with people, and that's not how I build energy now. And you choose your battles. You choose your battles. Some battles are not worth fighting. Toxic people always expose themselves. Negative people always expose themselves. Let them expose themselves. Stand up when you have to. Set shit straight when you got to. Depending on the toxic personality type you're dealing with, if you're dealing with one, laying at the smack down will either shut them up or keep them engrossed. And if it keeps them engrossed and they keep coming back with, like, even more crazy lies and stalking and spying at you through hidden accounts, then you're dealing with a narc or a psycho or a socio. In which case, cut them out. Cut them out. Suffocate the fire. So it's meant a lot to me, every single person who's followed me. I know I've lost some since I kind of went political, and I get that. We all don't think the same or feel the same or want to hear that shit. But thank you to every single person who was with me through that journey. And I'll do a video here and there about narcissists and recovering from narcissistic abuse, but it's not really my focus and my goal anymore. I'm done with it. And one day you will be too. And be proud of yourself. Every step, be proud of yourself. How far you've come. Healing has no time limit. It is just a step-by-step process, and I promise you, you will know that you are done when you don't have to tell yourself you're done. You'll know that you're done when you just don't care about narcs or toxic people or argumentative people who are lying, or once you've dealt with the worst, once you have dealt with a hoovering hobgoblin, other types of toxic people don't there aren't any kind of threat. So, my love to y'all. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and never again suffer these fools.